Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to another episode of Sports News Flash at 12 with your weekend sports anchor, Miguel Mike Medina. We're going to start off with some Olympics. A lot of stuff has been going on this weekend, so I'm going to quickly summarize everything that's been going on, starting with Olympics. Then we're going to go with some, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and then finish it with baseball. So let's get things started. Team USA's welterweight boxer Omari Jones wins his quarterfinal bout, which happened yesterday. Team USA dominated Puerto Rico in basketball. Anthony Edwards finished with 26 points on 11th of 15 shooting. His dunk off the steal was my favorite highlight of the game. That guy, Anthony Edwards is just unreal. He's unreal. He's only like what, 22 years old? We are seeing a future league MVP in the NBA. Unbelievable, amazing talent. Zane Qin gave China its first singles gold medal in a storied Paris Olympic run. She defeated Croatia's Dana Vecic on Saturday by the results of 6-2 and 6-3. Teddy Riner wins France the judo mixed team gold. Reiner defeated Japan's Tatsuro Soto in a golden score tiebreaker. Reiner is considered by many the most decorated Olympic judoka of all time. Carlos Julo secured the Philippines' first Olympic gold medal in gymnastics and the country's second ever Olympic gold medal in the men's gymnastic final. Katie Ledecky. Katie Ledecky. Katie Ledecky. She struck once again. Incredible Olympic swimmer. She earned her fourth consecutive Olympic gold medal in the women's 800 meter. Since 2012, when she came into the scene, she's been dominating the women's swimming in the Olympics. Unbelievable talent she is. Unbelievable. Congratulations to her. We can't forget about Simone Biles. She has had a great bounce back Olympic after what happened 4 years ago due to mental health. I didn't agree the way she came about it. If she would have never participated, if she would have backed out even before the Olympics, that would have been fine. But I'm glad to see her doing well. I'm a fan of her accomplishments. I respect her accomplishments. So this was a great redemption story for Simone Biles. And congratulations, not just her, but Suni Lee and the rest of Team USA on capturing medals. We're going to go into this commercial. When we come back, Pro Football Hall of Fame. It was a phenomenal class of inductees. I just love Hall of Fame speeches. They're like the Bible of sports. So we're going to come back after this short break. Welcome back to Sports News Flash at 12. Yesterday was the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and it featured an outstanding class, in my opinion. We have Andre Johnson, Devin Hester, Julius Peppers, Patrick Willis, Dwight Freeney, Steve McMichael, and Randy Grandishar. All speeches were great. My favorite speech, arguably the best one of the night, was linebacker Randy Gradishar. It's been a long time coming. It was long overdue for him to finally get inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. What made his speech so special is that he was quoting the Bible. And not just one line, it was at a point where he went through stretches, minutes, um, talking about the Bible. And that's something that caught me by surprise because Randy Grandershort is one of those athletes that I don't know too much about until I saw his speech yesterday. So after watching his speech, I decided that I'm gonna focus um, more time to know more about his game, watch his highlights, etc. But his speech was a master class. It was a master class speech, unbelievable. I'm happy to see him get in, and he is the first member of the Denver Broncos Orange Crush defense in the late 1970s and early 1980s to be enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But that speech was phenomenal. And Andre Johnson. Andre Johnson is the first Houston Texans to go into the Hall of Fame. Andre Johnson, he was part of that 2001 Miami Hurricanes team, which in my opinion is the greatest college football team of all time. And he's a Miami guy. He's always been a Miami guy. So then we got drafted by the Houston Texans, a new franchise. And he was there for so many seasons. It took Houston a while for them to finally become a playoff team. And obviously, he didn't do it by himself. He had J.J. Watt there, and it was nice to see J.J. Watt there in the audience section, listening to his speech. Andre Johnson, he obviously thanked his mom, saying that what she did for him and his siblings was Hall of Fame worthy. He told her that, you know, you belong in the Hall of Fame. You're in the Hall of Fame as well. The moment with him and his sister was also touching. You could tell that Andre Johnson, he was very satisfied to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. He was he was a very tough player, very competitive. He was one of those wide receivers, in my opinion, that I wish he could have had more success, deserved to have more success, but he won in life. He won in life. That's how I look at it. So congrats to Andre Johnson. Devin Hester, I mean, what a phenomenal player he was for the Chicago Bears for so many years. And to see him getting inducted into the Hall was nice. Patrick Willis. Patrick Willis, when I think about him and that San Francisco 49er defense in 2011, 2012, outstanding. Outstanding. He was a phenomenal linebacker for them. And he was very fortunate to have a guy like Mike Singletary, who was a great linebacker himself in his days and was part of that great 1985 Chicago Bears team, to help him and mold him and coach him and guide him. He was lucky. Patrick was lucky to have a guy like Mike Singletary by his side. So congratulations to him. Julius Peppers. I mean, I grew up watching Julius Peppers, starting with the Carolina Panthers, especially when he was part of that 2003 team that went to the Super Bowl. From Carolina to the Chicago Bears, he was a great defensive player. It was a joy to watch him play. So I'm happy to see him getting inducted into the Hall of Fame as well. Dwight Freeney. Dwight Freeney, this was the first speech that I saw of yesterday's Hall of Fame. I saw a lot of humility in his speech. I like that he started his speech in terms of him mentioning that he played for many teams, but he started playing for one team, and that was his family, crediting his parents, thanking his dad for always being tough on him, his mom always going to his high school games. I just liked, I just felt a lot of humility from him listening to his speech. He played for other teams, but he's best known playing for with Indianapolis from 2002 through 2012, being coached by Tony Dungy and them winning the Super Bowl together, mentioning other names like Bruce Arians because he got to play for him as well in Arizona. So I like the fact that he took his time to mention all of his former teammates, especially the ones that are going to be future Hall of Famers. So a lot of humility, a lot of humility. It was very touching, obviously, when he mentioned his wife and his kids. You could tell that his wife was very proud of him. So that was my arguably my second favorite speech, second or third favorite speech, but whatever. It was a great speech of yesterday's Pro Football Hall of Fame. Steve McMichael. His speech was short, obviously 3 minutes, 4 minutes, but he couldn't talk, he couldn't move because of ALS. ALS took a lot from him, but it was nice to see him being gathered around by his family and former teammates, such as um, Mike Singletary and other former players from that 85 Bears team to support him. That was unbelievable to watch. But I'm glad that he finally got inducted into the Hall of Fame before it was late. But man, any disease that any human being goes through is just tough. But ALS, oof, we can only hope and pray that none of us go through what he has gone through and what other people has gone through that has dealt with this terrible disease. Any disease is horrible, but what ALS can do to a human being, horrible, horrible. But this was a great Hall of Fame class, and I'm happy that each and every one of them got in. We're gonna go into this commercial, and when we get back, we're gonna wrap it up with some baseball. We'll be back after this. This is another bad break. Bad break. Mike Trout is done for the remainder of the season due to another torn meniscus on his knee. It really sucks. It really does. And he tweeted about his situation, expressing his frustration. The only thing I didn't like about the tweet from Mike Trout is that he apologized to the fans. He doesn't need to apologize. Injuries are part of the game. It can happen to anyone. And what I don't like about a lot of people, especially who go to YouTube comments or on social media, that once a player gets hurt frequently, they start clowning them and thinking that it's the player's fault. No, no. I know it can get tiring to see the same player getting hurt over and over and over, but it's not their fault. Most of the time, it's not their fault. Troy Tulowitzki, he had to retire because of dealing with so many injuries. That's not his fault. Giancarlo Stanton, as much as I hate seeing him getting injured, is not his fault. And the list goes on and on. There's athletes in every sport that they're very good, but they just can't stay healthy. It's not their fault. It just happens. Now, you have a few cases where they don't take care of their bodies well, but you have a lot of these athletes that they do take care of themselves, but they just can't stay healthy. In Mike Trout's case, is very sensitive because he's always been a class act player. He's beloved by so many people. He's a future first ballot Hall of Famer. And it bothers me that he's constantly have to always finish either in last place or whatever the case may be. He's only made to the postseason once, and that was in 2014. I just wish he could be in a better situation, but I respect his loyalty. He wants to be a angel for life, and he will be an angel for life, as we can see. But as you can see, when you sign these long-term contracts, especially in your early 30s, it's a huge risk for any organization. And now we've seen that the last 3, 4 seasons, probably more, Mike Trout has missed a lot of games because of injuries. So, it just sucks. It sucks. I'm a fan of Mike Trout. I want to see him succeed. I want him to end up winning a World Series ring before he hangs up the cleats. It's not mandatory. It's not guaranteed that it will happen. And having a World Series ring, winning a championship, is not everything. In Mike Trout's case, I would love that to happen, but if he doesn't get it, I'm totally cool with it. But it just bothers me that he has to go through this, and the fact that people on social media clown him for that. I don't, there's nothing comical about getting hurt, especially when it comes to your knees. So, so let's see how he'll bounce back next season. Obviously, he's not getting younger. He's 33. He'll be 34 next year. But we wish Mike Trout the best of luck. Last but not least, and you guys won't even see this coming, and that is Venezuelan ball player Eugenio Suarez. Eugenio Suarez, in my opinion, has been the MVP in the month of July for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He finished the month by hitting 326 with 10 home runs and 27 RBIs in 80 at bats. He is doing a phenomenal job at the plate. Eugenio Suarez is one of those players that I like to see him hitting for like 275, 280 or more, and not below 250. I don't want that for him. So the fact that he had a strong month of July, I just hope he continues that way. If he continues this way, there's no stopping Arizona. I mean, he is one of the most important players of this lineup, of this team. So, but man, he has been on a tear. I've always been a fan of Eugenio Suarez, starting with his days with Cincinnati. And now he's in a good situation with Arizona, a team that went to the World Series last year. Let's see what they can do in the second half. But so far, they're off to a great start with this man right here leading the way for them. And that concludes this episode of Sports News Flash at 12. Shoot me an email if you have any questions, any thoughts that you may have about this episode. Enjoy sports day, continue to enjoy the Olympics despite of that atrocious opening with these drag queens and all of that ridiculousness that we're seeing. I was very close of not even, well, I'm not watching full blown the Olympics. I'm just watching the highlights on YouTube. But I came very close to just not watching anything at all about the Olympics. But because I have such a strong attachment to it, especially now that I'm getting older, and all these platforms that I'm doing, I had to see what's going on. So, but that opening of the Olympics was atrocious, because it has nothing to do with the Olympics. Sorry that I'm going off rant. No, I'm not apologizing. I'm going off rant because it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. It should have never been part of the Olympics. But other than that, the competition has been phenomenal. I like seeing athletes succeeding in all different countries. Liam Marchand, I mean, he has been a tremendous story for the Olympics this year, and it's the beginning of a long, interesting Olympic career that we will be tuning in and sticking around to watch. So, have a great Sunday, everyone. Be safe. And may God bless each and every one of you. I'll see you guys next Sunday for a new episode of Sports News Flash at 12.